green tea with this heat. I almost died. So, I'm reading about free will. I'm reading Determined by Spassky, Robert Spassky, I think. I always forget his name. Anyways, do we have free will? That means he conducted an experiment where people were set up with electrodes in his head, and then they had to say when they chose to press a button. And then they studied them, and supposedly 200 milliseconds before they pressed the button, that's when they reported of making the choice. But the electrodes reported that actually 300 milliseconds before that, the impulses to move the finger were already happening. So, what does this mean? What is this thing of free will, that we intend to do something? But where does that intention come from? That is the question that this guy poses. So, from that, what does that mean? That we couldn't have acted differently from what we did in the past. That was the only option considering our environment, our genes, our conditioning, our culture. Okay, so, but how do we, I think the question that matters to me is how do we apply that to life, to our work, to our relationships, to our accountability, you know, because maybe you say, okay, I didn't intend to do that, you know, couldn't have happened any other way. So we are still responsible for our actions, but we can relieve the burden of guilt, shame, and punishment, I think, from our daily lives. Rather, being responsible, okay, certain things happen, and if someone's dangerous, how do we account for that? But, you know, people have, there could be someone with a tumor in his head, and that makes him act in a certain way, and then we find out about this, and maybe the hatred disappears. So why do we hate people and not inanimate objects, for example? I think that's really interesting to explore. I'm thinking, how can I blend this into a movie? How do I explore that? What does this mean with other people? So yeah, I think that's an interesting question for that. Look, I'm having lunch with that guy over there.
What are you doing here?
I don't know. What are you doing here?
I'm just walking by, but I'm going out now.
Okay, bye-bye. Percy, how you doing? It's great to see you, man.
Good to see you.
With the pigeon, man.
Fucking pigeon.
Woo! What are we eating?
This is ice cream. No joke was coming.
We're eating whale spearm at what's this park called? Union Square. We're at Union Square right now. That's General Square over there. And Jordan's here, and there's a statue over there, and there's nature.
There's a statue over there.
And there's a squirrel nest over there, and there's Jordan's crotch over there.